began operations in Ghana in 1994 by working to educate mining communities about sexual health and the prevention of AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. Today, CARE International in Ghana focuses on a participatory approach, working in partnership with local and civil society organizations, the government and the private sector. Our goal is to impact the lives of the rural and vulnerable poor, women in particular, by identifying and addressing the underlying causes of poverty through implementing programs in the following areas: food security and nutrition, livelihood strategies and poverty reduction, women's empowerment and gender equity, water and sanitation, health and education. The Nutrition Outcomes for Women project was a 2.5-year initiative implemented in 4 communities in the East Mamprusi and Garut Timpani districts of the Northern and Upper East regions. These communities were Yaroyiri, Sumnimboma No. 1, Palugu and Zambala. The project focused on increasing the production of iron-rich vegetables and animal protein to improve consumption of these nutrients.
The Nutrition Outcomes for Women's project is being implemented in the Northern and the Upper East regions. We are working in 4 communities in 2 districts of these regions. In the Northern region, we are in the East Mamprusi district, working in 2 communities, Yaroyiri and Sumnimboma No. 1. In the Upper East region, we are in the Garut Timpani district, working in Palugu and Zambala. The goal of the project is to increase the production and consumption of iron-rich green leafy vegetables so as to increase the nutritional status of women of reproductive age.
The project design was based on the following hypothesis: increased access and availability of iron-rich foods, and increased knowledge and skills in processing, preparation, consumption and storage of iron-rich foods will lead to increased consumption of iron-rich foods by impact group. Through a review of studies done on indigenous vegetables, 5 local green leafy vegetables were identified as having high content of iron. These were Amaranthus species, locally called alefu, cowpea leaves, kenaf, locally called bra or beriga, roselle, locally called biri or beet, and cocorus, locally called ayoyo or salinvoile. These vegetables are very popular in northern Ghana and are used daily to prepare family meals. Community members were first sensitized on the importance of iron for women of reproductive age, the consequences of anemia or shortage of blood, the fact that some of the local green leafy vegetables were very rich in iron. The women recognized the symptoms of anemia such as shortness of breath, dizziness and hemorrhage, that is, excessive bleeding during pregnancy or delivery. They were surprised to know that their local vegetables could offer a remedy to a very common problem among women. Thus, they were very eager to learn more, produce and consume increased quantities of these vegetables. To improve cultivation practices and production of these vegetables, 4 demonstration farms were established in the target communities in July 2012. In each community, members provided the land and women worked to till the grounds with the support of men who were very enthusiastic about the project. The seedlings of the identified vegetables were also provided by the women. The NOW project provided the garden equipment such as wheelbarrows, garden forks, watering cans, shovels, and wood and chain link fences. During the demonstration process, technical support was given by the Presbyterian Agricultural Station and Ministry of Food and Agriculture. The women were taught to make raised beds, which could allow excess water to drain during the rainy season. They were also educated on the importance of planting in rows to allow weeding, aeration, and increased rate of growth.
For this project, we think that it's a timely intervention. Our farmers have learned to produce these vegetables for a long time. They eat them, but the form, the quantities, and even the reason why they take this, they themselves has not been very conscious of that. And this project has really revealed to us that a good percentage of our women have problem or have shortage of blood because of their system, which has been explained to the groups or the clients that we are working with. So for us, we think that is a plus from care.
Animal protein such as fish, meat or poultry is important for growth and development. Iron found in plants were better absorbed and used by the body when there is animal protein in the food eaten. To facilitate this, the project gave out a total of 1,200 beds to 200 women in the 4 communities in August 2012. Each woman received 5 hens and 1 cockerel. The goal was to increase the availability of animal protein through eggs and chicken. Before the distribution of the birds, the women were given training on basic poultry management, such as feeding, watering, sanitation and ventilation, etc. Existing hen coops in the communities were inspected to ascertain their preparedness to receive the birds. During the inspection, it was observed that most coops are not properly ventilated. The coops were also not floored and cleaned. Beneficiaries were encouraged to create ventilation by making holes in the mud coops and make sure their coops are always clean to avoid incidents of diseases among birds. Some coops that were properly constructed were used as model for other beneficiaries to emulate. To reduce anemia among women, nutrition counseling cards on nutrition for women in reproductive age were developed. Key messages were on anemia causes, prevention and food sources of iron, nutrition during pregnancy and lactation, food handling, hand washing and hygiene, 3 food groups, vitamin A and iodine nutrition. Community health volunteers and peer educators in each community were trained in the use of the cards and to understand and translate the key messages. The peer educators were selected among the women in the village savings and loans groups present in the communities. Men were also targeted in the nutrition education activities with the design of a father poster. The men in the target communities had expressed strong interest in maternal and child health and nutrition issues, contrary to the belief held by women that their husbands were not interested. The father poster contained key messages on how men can support their wives in poultry production, vegetable production, household food security, household decision making, good hygiene and sanitation. The channels for reaching men were through community meetings and men's meetings. Working in collaboration with the Women in Agricultural Division of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, women were taught how to preserve nutrients such as iron during cooking. These cooking demonstrations were done at the community level using vegetables from the vegetable garden. During interactions with the women, it was discovered that vegetable consumption had reduced in recent times because groundnut, which was a main ingredient for soups, had become very expensive. So during the cooking demonstration, women were taught how to cook vegetables with soy paste as a substitute for groundnut. Soy is relatively cheaper since it is produced by a good number of the women. This has increased the consumption of vegetables. The women also learned how to preserve nutrients during cooking. Normally, vegetables were boiled and the stock thrown away before adding it to the soup. This caused a lot of nutrients such as water-soluble vitamins and iron to be lost. Through the cooking demonstration, women learned to boil vegetables with very little water and to use the water during cooking. For vegetables that are very sour, like biri, they were encouraged to use the stock for preparing tuwo zafi, thereby benefiting from the water-soluble vitamins and iron. Some of the local dishes prepared were groundnut soup, made with soy with amaranthus, roselle or kinaf, steamed cowpea leaves, and soy flour made into local dishes called bien walsa and yom beika. An inter-community cooking demonstration was organized between two communities in the East Mamprusi district. This was done as a way of bringing two communities together to learn and share experiences from the project among them. During this interaction, women shared among themselves how to better take care of their poultry and prevent diseases and death. They also discussed how they were surrounded by all these health-giving vegetables but did not know. At the end of this meeting, their resolve was stronger that they will never be ill again from anemia. In May 2013, a conference was organized with the aim of bringing beneficiary communities from the two regions together. Participants shared with each other how the project has improved their health, its impact on their community, and how to sustain the good practices. It was also interesting to see men concurring and giving their own accounts of how the vegetable cultivation, cooking demonstrations, and nutrition education has changed their lives and health for the better. The impact of this project has been tremendous. Beneficiaries can testify to the fact that nutritious foods can be obtained locally, and with improved methods of preparation, the whole family can eat healthily. This means that there will be less money spent to maintain health. Care and her partners believe in a world of hope where poverty and social injustice has been overcome and people live in dignity. We hope to achieve this, a girl, a woman, and a community at a time.